Hi everyone, I'm Harold.
And I'm Brayden.
And we're here
to talk trikes.
This week's episode, we're going to answer a very serious question for a very serious group of people. Wheel size. Does it matter? Does it matter if I get a bigger wheel, a smaller wheel, middle of the ground wheel? What's the deal with all these wheel sizes?
Well, let's start nice and easy. I mean, what are your advantages of doing, well, comparatively, right?
Yeah.
We have Cat Trike 559 with a 26-inch rear wheel,
right,
and a Cat Trike Trail with a 20-inch rear wheel.
Right.
They are nearly identical. What are the advantages of the 559?
Why would I get a 559 for a trail?
Yeah.
I mean, like, if we're going to go directly into those trikes, since they are both folding, and one thing that you're immediately going to see between them, 559 is a lot longer than the trail. So for folding and the storage-minded people that are already thinking about getting a compact trike, maybe getting a smaller wheel like on the trail, that 20-inch wheel folds up really nice and into the trike frame.
What you're saying is not shocking. I mean, a 26-inch wheel is going to be longer.
26-inch wheel big, 20-inch wheel small. I mean, come on. I mean, that's the obvious thing. But what I know you guys, you want the technical, juicy details. When it comes down to it, a smaller wheel is going to have more torque. It's going to have less flex. It's going to be a little bit stronger. So for that initial bout of getting acceleration, going fast, and being able to just get off and speeding away, that's going to be a good option to go with. But for something larger, like on the 559 on a 26-inch rear wheel, that's going to carry momentum a lot easier. It's going to be less. It's going to have less rolling resistance. So when you're going off-road a little bit, I'm not saying taking this off into the jungle or anything, but going on gravel, going on packed dirt, it's going to ride a lot easier. And you're going to be able to have more surface area, so you're not going to have as much issues there.
I think another really, big important reason to go with larger wheels, they just tend to be faster.
Yeah.
I mean, you're going to get faster speeds out of a 26-inch than a 20-inch.
Yeah, of course, and then you're not going to have to fight as hard to keep up that speed.
You get asked from the customers all the time, and I like to ask them, what kind of riding are you doing? Are you doing touring? Are you going long distances? Are you going to be stopping very often?
Right.
I mean, personally, if I was going to go into the park all the time and I'm doing my stopping and starting, a 20-inch wheel is fantastic. I'm not working as hard to get going again. Whereas a 26-inch, I might have to fight a little bit more.
If you're looking for like a commuting trike, you're going to have long stretches of road where you're not going to be stopping. Having that momentum being carried through the wheel is going to be a lot better.
You mentioned just a minute ago, a 20-inch wheel is stronger than a 26-inch wheel.
Right.
Can you explain why?
I mean, it's pretty simple. Spoke size. A longer spoke is going to be easier to break than a shorter spoke. You have a lot less going and flexing on that spoke when you're putting pressure on there.
Right, that it's just built stronger.
Right.
I mean, you really notice on the fat wheels.
Yeah, like on the Fat Tad CXS and the crawler, the Fat Tad CXS has 20 by 4-inch wheels all the way around. The crawler is 26 by 4. So for those particular riding cases, if you know that you're going to be doing a lot of bumpy roads, a lot of really high intensity trails, having a heavy-duty wheel as 20 by 4-inch to take that on. Of course, the CXS has suspension as well. That helps. It's for another video. But if you know that you're going to be doing more well-maintained roads, still off-road, but not nearly as aggressive, and you want something that can have good rolling resistance, 26 by 4-inch wheel is going to be fantastic for that.
Okay. And we're both big guys, right?
Yeah.
A 20-inch wheel being built for a little more cargo space, cargo weight.
You can see that's like for those in the know, that's the whole design philosophy on the Cat Trike Max. It's built off a Villager, which already has this 20-inch wheels. All they've done is they beefed up the frame of the trike and the rim and spoke sizes, but they kept the 20-inch because it is the strongest wheel for a bike out there.
Right. You don't want that much flex if you're going to be strictly looking for cargo weight capacity.
Exactly. Now, those are just two examples of trikes with 20-inch front wheels and then whatever rear wheel size in the back. What's going to be the main advantage of getting larger front wheels?
I mean, that's good, interesting question as well.
Right.
You get asked all the time. TieFly X being one of the most popular, right? 26-inch, 26 front.
Yeah, and then it has the TieFly 20, which is almost the complete opposite, 20-inch road tires all the way around.
Right. And you can get a direct comparison between the both of them. My biggest advantage, I think, of doing 26-inch in the front is that ground clearance. Right. Same with the crawlers you mentioned, 26-inch front wheels. This moves the frame of the bike up. It also increases the seat height. So if you're looking for those taller trikes to get in and out of, 26 inches all the way around definitely gives you that advantage you won't find on a 20-inch.
Absolutely. You don't have to do as much of a squat to get into that. Of course, you have a better riding position. You're also a little bit more visible because you have a larger riding profile. That's definitely something to keep aware of. And that's, we've done conversion on Trikes as well. I'm sorry, I'm talking a lot about Trikes, but those are what we modify the most here. For those who've seen our V series, we've taken a Villager there and we've done 24-inch front wheels and we've done 26-inch rear wheels to give it a higher riding profile, make it more of a touring trike so they can carry momentum, be able to ride a little bit better, be a better commuter, better cross-country rider all the way around. That's why you want to go for larger wheels all the way.
You put a larger wheel, more weight, it throws that weight around a lot easier. Your inertia keeps you going. Whereas a 20-inch is going to dispel that a lot easier.
Yeah, but what if I have a 26-inch rear wheel and want to go even larger?
To like a 29-inch?
A 29-inch or a 700C. What if I'm looking for ultimate speeds? Am I going to get that out of a 29-inch or a 700C rear wheel?
I mean, same philosophy going to a 20 to a 26, right? If your trike is 700C capable, or able to put a 700C back, that is going to get you your fastest, speed in the back. You see the Trike 700, the Ice VTX both have the 700C standard.
Right.
They did that for a reason, right? These are racing trikes.
Wheel, yeah.
They are racing trikes. And the 700C being skinny too. It's very skinny, right? Very low ground resistance. I mean, they're meant to spin and keep
I'm not going to take that kind of wheel or that kind of trike off-road. That's more of a...
No.
Taking that for a long commute.
It'd be like taking a saw blade outside.
Pretty much. I guess one thing to mention as well with 700 and larger 26-inch wheels being faster is they're also going to have that higher gearing. That's primarily why they're going to be faster. So they take the standard gearing you have, but they're going to give you even more of a high gear. So that's going to be important when you're going on your straightaways, not necessarily when you're climbing so much, but when you're going downhill, you're trying to get a faster speed. It'll carry you that a little bit better with your gearing.
And we've gone into a couple other trikes, right? Fly X having 26 all the way around, our V series doing 24s.
Yeah.
Most standard trike configurations are going to have large wheel in the back, smaller wheels in the front.
Yeah, I mean, you think what you've been talking about, like, 26-inch wheel faster. Why don't we do that all the way around?
Right.
A larger front wheel is going to have a larger turning radius than a smaller front wheel. So even then, if you think about the geometry of a trike, as you start to turn, the wheels are going to start to head toward the middle of the trike. Mm-hmm. If you have a 26-inch wheel and it's not a trike that's built for it, it's going right into you, right there. And of course, it also helps with lateral forces. Those stronger front wheels are going to keep you from wobbling so much. The 20-inch smaller.
Want something that's built strong. So when all my inertia is being pushed forward and my braking also pushes forward on those tires, I'm not going to shatter. Not that you see.
That's not to say you're going to see a 26-inch wheel break. It's just, as you start to get more of that high-end riding, you're looking for that performance. That's something to keep in mind. We've been talking a lot about bigger rear wheels in this episode. What are some of the advantages that we can get? What are some of the advantages that we get from having a smaller rear wheel?
Yeah, smaller rear wheels, similar to your larger rear wheels, are going to be low gearing, right? They're down, which is really good for climbing hills, right? If I'm going to be going an uphill climb, I almost prefer a 20-inch. Right. It's going to get me higher torque, quicker acceleration, which you need.
Right. You don't want to be, as a bigger guy, you don't want to be on a hill for very long. The time after that hill is the best time of your life.
I think while we're talking about smaller wheels, it's also important to mention, if you have a derailleur system on the back, that derailleur in some of your gearing configurations can hang fairly low on the wheel.
If you're on the road, that's not going to be a big of a problem. No. But if you're going off road, then of course that's something you need to be mindful. You don't want to be in your lowest gear while riding. You want to be more of a high gear so you're not over tensioned and you start grabbing up twigs and bugs and whatever else from the road.
Right. Not going to hurt yourself on cement. There's nothing to really kick up there. No. But when you take it into some brush, that derailleur, you don't want anything getting caught in the derailleur.
I wouldn't ride directly into a brush anyways, but yeah.
I try to avoid them. A 20-inch wheel isn't directly correlated with seat height, but it definitely is a factor.
Yeah.
Right. Having 20-inch wheels generally means you're closer to the ground, which does offer more stability.
Right.
Which is a large reason people are getting into the trike scene originally, right?
Right.
Looking for that stability. So something to keep in mind when you're searching, right?
Right.
The 20-inch wheels tend to be closer to the ground,
Right.
allowing you to be a little more stable.
Yeah, well, we do have frames of trikes that have that higher riding height, even if they have 20-inch
Right.
wheels. Of course, getting a larger wheel is still going to affect that riding height and take your center of gravity into somewhere that you might be a little bit more uncomfortable riding in.
Right.
Ultimately, guys, what it comes down to is if you get a smaller wheel or a larger wheel, it comes down to your riding style. If you're looking for a nimble city rider that can go quick, climb like no other, 20-inch smaller wheel is going to be for you. If you're looking for something that you're going to take commuting, on those longer rides, and you want it to be smooth, a larger wheel is going to be better. But of course, we want to know what you guys think. Tell us what you guys ride, what sizes of wheels you prefer, what you guys have experienced while riding a 20-inch, 26-inch, any kind of wheel in between. We'd love to hear it. Of course, remember to like, subscribe, comment, ring that bell. Look at our socials, subscribe to our newsletter. We have one coming out every Friday. And of course, think I'm forgetting something, but what should we always remember?
Always remember to relax, spin fast, and ride trikes. Thanks, everybody.
Yeah, have a good one, everybody.